I missed him, man. I got to hit it. I got to hit it. When you have opportunities like that, you gotta hit them. Especially in this league, this game is a game of inches. Cris did a great job of creating separation and getting open, but I'll get better and I hit them. Those are going to be touchdowns real soon.
Going to be touchdowns real soon. Music to our ears from quarterback Jameis Winston talking about Chris Olave, who had a team-high 13 targets against the Buccaneers in week number 2. Connor Rogers winds up 5 for 80. Good day, could have been much bigger, but I think if we talk about the winners from week 2, we got to talk about some of these rookie wide receivers suddenly showing they're very fantasy relevant, and we start in New Orleans with Olave.
Extremely. Week 2, and this is what Olave does. Olave creates separation. That's what Olave has always done. He's not a big run after the catch guy, but he wins off the line of scrimmage, and he can win at the intermediate and deep levels of the field. And when you have Jameis Winston back there, he's somebody that will take those chances deep. So 5 for 80 is fine for a rookie Olave, but it's going to be much bigger than this, I promise that.
Over 300 air yards.
That's
I mean,
insane.
they were chucking it deep, and this is against Tampa Bay, a very good defense. Week 3, they're at Carolina, so that could be a coming out party for Chris Olave. But I certainly think if I'm ranking Saints wide receivers the rest of the way, it's still Thomas, but I'd prefer Olave to Landry, and I wouldn't be shocked second half of the year of Olave, especially given Thomas's injury history, if Olave potentially gets there's not a lot of separation between Thomas and Olave, so that's really good. By the way, we talked a little bit about this crazy Jets comeback against the Browns. You mentioned a 0.3% chance at one point in the fourth quarter for them to win. They do actually win. Jets, Jets. Unbelievable win. And a big part of that, Garrett Wilson, Olave's college teammate.
Insane that these two, the kind of week they had. Garrett Wilson showed that he is going to be the guy in the Jets offense, and we're not waiting anymore. He is the guy right away. He played a little less snaps than Corey Davis and, of course, Elijah Moore, but the volume was that 37-year-old Joe Flacco is looking for the 21-year-old wide receiver on every play. He dropped a third down pass towards the end of the game that could have lost the game for them, and they still went back to him for the game winner. So Garrett Wilson, he is here to stay. He's somebody that they use underneath to create yards, but he also showed in the intermediate area of the field that he can make big plays in the red zone. I'll tell you this, Matthew. He should have 4 touchdowns. Flacco missed him twice in the end zone on other drives. He could have walked away with a 50-point fantasy day, which is insane for any Jets wide receiver.
It really is. And, the only thing that wasn't insane is that Flacco missed him in the end zone. Like, that's what you get. What'll be fascinating to know is what happens when they go to Zach Wilson.
That's the big thing to watch.
Flacco is what he is at this point, but, he's a functional quarterback.
Yep.
Like, that offense is functional.
And he locks on to guys a lot.
Right. Yeah, which is also there. 30 to your point, 33% target share for him. Almost 3 times as many targets as Elijah Moore in this one as well. They're playing the Bengals next week, as we've talked about there, which is suddenly not a defense that scares you as much. But Garrett Wilson, who has that first round, that early pick pedigree, clearly talented, going to be a big part of an offense that's how they're going to need to move the ball is through the air. Let's move on to Houston now. There couldn't have been a buzzier person in the preseason than Dameon Pierce.
Yeah.
Rise up draft boards, gets out-snapped, out-touched, out-carried, out-everything by Rex Burkhead in week 1. Everyone's just like, what are we going to do now? But sometimes things correct themselves the way they were. Dameon Pierce in week 2 against the Broncos, 63% of the offense snaps, 17% more snaps. He had 63% of the offensive snaps, and he played 17 more snaps than Rex Burkhead. Of course, this is Dameon Pierce, and all of the running back carries here. Clearly one of the winners from week number 2.
Well, thank God logic finally prevailed, right, that he's getting a lot more work than Rex Burkhead, because that doesn't make sense for the future of this team or the now of this team. And Pierce is a hard-nosed runner that can break tackles. The problem I think we all forgot over the summer is the Texans' offense isn't any good. And Davis Mills is not throwing the ball enough downfield to open up the run game or get them in red zone opportunities. So Pierce is a guy that he can create a lot between the 20s, but you need the Texans' offense to improve to get down to the red zone to give him the touchdown chances. They just don't exist right now.
Texans playing the Bears next week. The Bears obviously traveling back home after a short week where they just lost to Lambeau. As we saw from Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon,
they couldn't stop that.
You can run on the Bears.
Yeah. Fire up Pierce.
Should be a big week for Dameon Pierce in week number 3. If you were patient after week 1, hopefully you were. Looks like things have corrected themselves there. There may have been no rookie wide receiver that we had more confidence in, both from a talent standpoint and an opportunity standpoint immediately, than Drake London.
And the pathway was so clear, right? You look at the Falcons receiver room, Drake London has a pulse. He's going to get all the targets. He's going to be the number 1 guy. He was banged up over the summer. Now he's healthy, and he's back to being the guy he was at USC. I mean, he had basically a full season's production last year, and he got hurt for for around Halloween and never came back. This is who he is when he's on the field. He's an alpha male wide receiver. He can win the jump ball. He can command a lot of targets, 33% target share through the first 2 games. I mean, we're going to talk about somebody later that's struggling because of this, but Drake London is the true number 1 in that Falcons offense, and they don't really have a number 2 that eats away at him at all.
8 for 86 and a score as the Falcons tried to make a comeback against the Rams. Fell a little bit short, but no fault of Drake London, who's averaging now 9 targets per game, locked in as a top 20 wide receiver. Whatever you think of Marcus Mariota, what's clear is that he can get the ball to Drake London. However, Kyle Pitts, that's another story. Here's Arthur Smith, Falcons head coach, on his tight end.
Kyle is such an important piece, and the ball, we go after him or he's targeted, and other guys made plays. So it's like a perfect example. You target him on one, and if they cover him or they account for him, and then Hodge comes in there and makes a big play. It happened a few times, things like that. It's not fantasy football. We're just trying to win, and we'll continue to look at everything and try to get better.
Are they trying to win?
The problem is they're not winning.
That's the thing. I'm with you, Coach Smith. I'm with you 100%. Okay, hey, we're trying to win football games. Great. And if you're winning football games and some guys aren't getting stats and you're winning football games, asked and answered. That is Coach Smith's job, is to win games for the Atlanta Falcons. But here's the part I don't get. You spent a 4th round pick on him. Not 4th round. The 4th overall pick in the draft.
They took him over Jamar Chase.
They took him over Jamar Chase.
Over Jamar Chase?
They took him over Sewell. They used the 4th overall pick on a tight end. And the reason you do that is because you think this guy is a generational talent. Not a good inline blocker, not a guy that takes him, not a guy to be a decoy so you can target Kadarius Hodge. That's literally what the coach said. He's like, he was covered, so Hodge made a couple of. Are you kidding me? Kadarius Hodge? You spent the 4th overall pick on a guy to free up Kadarius Hodge? What are we doing here, Connor?
Driving us nuts.
Driving us nuts.
Insane.
He's a generational talent, Kyle Pitts. The metrics coming out of the draft were off the chart.
And forget that. He had 1,000 yards in a rookie season where he was 20 in the beginning of the year.
20!
We're not waiting for him to break out. We saw it.
Yes.
They are not trying. They are not trying to get him the football.
Scheme him open. Block a guy. Chip a guy.
One
do
screen.
Anything.
One jump ball.
Whatever. You got Cordero Patterson in the backfield. Give to Kyle Pitts. All we're asking for, give Pitts a chance. Give Pitts a chance. How about that? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Trying to win
All
football
we are
games.
asking is give Pitts a chance. America. Here, can we hold hands? Can we sing? All we are asking is give Pitts a chance. Here's what I think
that doesn't work.
If that doesn't make it, we may have to do a sit-in. We may have to do a protest. Dameon, wherever you are, start painting signs. We're doing a protest. We're going down to Atlanta. We're going to march.
We'll make shirts.
Bumper stickers. We'll get bumper stickers.
Yes.
I
don't even have a car. And
somebody started
I'll get a
GoFundMe.
bumper sticker.
Look, through 2 games, he's tight end 34 in points per game. He's got under 12 fantasy points now in 15 to 19 career games. Last year, he was at least getting targets, but he wasn't getting an end zone. Now he's not even getting targets. He got 3 targets in week 2. Now, here, if there's a positive, he played 94% of the offensive snaps because they're using him as a decoy to get Kadarius Hodge open. Someone play that clip for Nathaniel Hackett. Make Nathaniel Hackett feel better this morning.
Oh, God.
And Frank Reich. Frank Reich's feeling pretty bad this morning. Well, listen, at least you're not trying to scheme open a guy for Kadarius Hodge.
Give Kevin Stefanski some hope.
Yeah, I don't think at this point. I don't think you can do anything other than keep rolling him out there and hope. But what it's awful is that what Kyle Pitts has become you drafted Kyle Pitts with the idea he's going to become. He's gonna solve that issue. He's gonna be Mark Andrews. He's gonna be Travis Kelce. He's gonna be Darren Waller. He's okay, that's boom. I have elite production at a position where most people in my fantasy league don't have elite production. Instead, you're no. Now he joins the Gerald Everett's of the world, where you're just not even Gerald Everett.
Not even anymore.
Gerald Everett's been good, but a guy he's just a Dallas Goedert, or basically a touchdown dependent tight end, where you're if he scores, he's good. Otherwise, it's just he's kind of in that mix, right? And you're just in that. I will say this though, Arthur Smith has used tight ends effectively in his career, as has Marcus Mariota. The success of Drake London, I have to believe. Maybe I'm a moron. I have to believe they're going to figure out ways. Kyle Pitts is too talented, and there's too much invested in this team.
That's the key. Arthur Smith, that was his first-round pick. He has a saying that the GM just doesn't make the pick and go, here you go.
Right.
It's a top 5 pick in the draft. No tight end goes top 5.
Right.
Crazy.
All right. So anyway, a couple other quote-unquote losers, and by losers we mean just people in week 2, players in week 2 that saw maybe their fantasy value go down a little bit, but I'm not panicking on them just yet. Real quickly, Darrell Henderson. The positives are after you drafted him low, then after week 1 you're like, I got the starting running back for the Rams. After week 2 it's like, nope, you have a committee back as he played just 56% of the snaps. He got 82 in week 1. He got out-carried by Cam Akers, 15-10. He does get the touchdown here.
That's good.
So there's a sign of life for Cam Akers. Look, this is a committee. This is one of the reasons why I was down on Cam Akers in the preseason based on ADP, and why I was up on Henderson is because I thought that was going to be a committee. It is a committee. In a game in which the Dolphins went nuts, Chase Edmonds, the pass-catching running back, in a game in which Tua threw it 50 times, the pass-catching running back, Chase Edmonds, actually didn't get any run here.
No.
He had 1 reception. Raheem Mostert had the only goal line carry. I'm still staying patient. I think that was such a weird, fluky game. But, by the way, Mostert, value up. If he's out there, we'll talk about him tomorrow in waivers. Finally, before we go to break, I'll just say Rhamondre Stevenson should have been a breakout game, played a lot more snaps than Dameon Harris, but whatever. Dameon Harris continues to out-target Rhamondre Stevenson. What do you know? The Patriots running backs are a mess. I'm still team Rhamondre, but Dameon Harris is going to have more value than we thought. So we're hanging on to all these guys, but certainly value down after week 2. When we're back, some best bets and thoughts for Monday Night Football. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.